What's going on YouTube? It's Phil here, back with another video. So this is going to be a bit more of a serious, somber update. So I checked in yesterday with Semen Retention Sunday, 12 weeks semen retention. As I mentioned in the last video, my friend died last week. So that's obviously been on my mind, and I just wanted to talk that through a little bit. And this all ties in with where I'm at on the journey at the moment. So if you've been watching the videos over the last little while, you know that I've been praying for guidance. Did I make the right choice a few years ago, quitting my IT job, my pretty well paying IT job? I was in IT for almost 20 years. And going and doing something completely different. So yeah, 2020, I got out of IT, corporate IT, and did something completely different, which was bodywork. So musculoskeletal therapy is what I do now. And so I have a bunch of friends from my IT days, and so last week my friend died. And this is someone I was really close to. Like, we went to uni together, we studied undergrad, did IT honors together. We both got first class honors in IT. We really helped each other out a lot during our university days. Like, we'd always be hanging out and doing group projects together because I wanted to be in like a project group with someone who would work as hard as I was. So we would always be working really hard and getting like sevens. I got in honors, I got almost straight sevens. Sevens is like the best. It's like high distinction. It's the best mark you can get. So my GPA in honors was really good. And a lot of that was because I was working with him, and we were like really helping and supporting each other. And then I lived with him for a while as well. We shared a house together, two places actually. So I got to know him pretty well, and he's Singaporean, so he always had this really thick accent, and it was hard for me to even understand him, especially when I first met him. But I think talking a lot with me almost got him to take the edge off his accent and made him a bit easier to understand. But he really struggled to find work to begin with coming out of uni, because there's a little bit of racism, to be honest, and he was quite hard to understand. But like, I think I helped with that a little bit. But I recommended him for a job where I was working, and partly based on that recommendation, he got that job. It was also based on the fact that he's an extremely hard worker. So once he got that job and broke through, he finally got his first job. He never looked back. He worked his ass off, and he never looked back, because he was kind of stuck in that situation where you need a job to get experience and you need experience to get a job. He'd never had a proper, like, he'd had jobs, but he hadn't had a proper, like, this is the start of my career type job, like a corporate job. He'd had other jobs. So this really kind of allowed him to break through, and I knew what, like, he was a hard worker, switched on. So I had no problem recommending him and said, like, get this guy, he's really good. And as soon as he got the job, like I knew he would, he worked his ass off, quickly rose through the ranks, became a tech leader. We were both tech leaders, and he kept working, and he went off to bigger and better things and ended up becoming a CIO over the years. Like, really worked hard and became a CIO. And so he was on the corporate career path, working towards C-level, which is, you've really got to work hard to be in those jobs. It's 24/7, it's high stress, there's no break. And I got to this point, he once he went into corporate world and got C-level and things, he'd constantly be going, oh man, come work for me. And by this point, I was like, I could kind of see where corporate was going, and I was thinking about getting out. And then after what happened to my dad was working for IBM, and my dad got completely screwed over by IBM. And this is one of the contributing things that made me decide to ditch IT and go do something completely different. So my dad, on his final week at work, retirement age, 65, he finds out that IBM decides, we're not going to pay you your severance pay. Your payout, you're not going to get that. You're going to get about 50% of what we said you're going to get. So they totally screwed him over. They did some backroom changed. They didn't tell him. They changed the fine print, and his payout ended up being about 50% of what he thought he was going to get. So he got screwed over by IBM. And then that same week, he found out that he had a rare form of leukemia. And so that was a big wake-up call for me. And I was like looking at this because I was on track to be my dad. And I just looked at this and go, no, I'm not doing this, dude. I'm not going to be a slave to a soulless corporation, give my life, work my ass off, and they turn around and screw me over at the end, and I probably will going to throw my health away doing it. And I could see, the writing was on the wall. I could see, like, if I don't do something, if I don't make some changes, I'm going to become my dad. So that was one of the things that really, like, shook me up out of this corporate track that I was on. But my friend Ed was on the same track and really, like, working in the corporate sector of one of these big energy companies. And he was always on at me, "Oh, come work for me, man. I'll give you a job." And like, he would, and I would have been able to do the job. I was a hard worker, I could do the work, but I knew it was going to cost me my health. Like, either a little bit or a lot, and most likely significantly impact my health. And I was just looking at it and I was going, I could see he was like, every time I would meet up with him, he would look older and older in his face. I'd look in his face and be like, I never said to him, but I'm in my head, I'm like, man, you look like shit. Like, he's obviously just working too hard. So over the years, he's doing that. He's CIO. He's working his ass off. By this time, he's got 2 kids, wife and 2 kids, and he's supporting them. And, I find out last week through a friend that he died. During the week last week, he died. He was playing soccer, and he went off the field because he wasn't feeling well, and then he collapsed. They tried to resuscitate him. Couldn't resuscitate him. So I found out late Friday night, my friend's dead. He's gone. And it's just, I've been on this journey for the last few years, and more recently I've been asking, I've been praying. I've been asking for a sign, and a sign that I'm on the right track, getting out of IT and getting into this new gig, this musculoskeletal therapy that I've been doing for the last few years. And so, like I said in a previous video, I had this car accident, and that was like, which I walked away from. It was a high-speed car accident. I could have died very easily, crashed on the highway into a guardrail. Walked away from that, car's fully insured, pretty much not a scratch on me. My hands are a bit bruised up from the airbags, and but apart from that, and my shin was a bit bruised from the lower airbag. Apart from that, I was going 100 k's an hour, whatever that is in miles. I don't know. That's fast. You don't have much chance. And I went into a skid, controlled the car enough to slow it down, still smashed into the guardrail, but walked away from that. Car's covered under insurance. We'll probably get written off, waiting for that to play out. But whatever. The car is not my concern. I was extremely lucky that I didn't hit anybody else and that I survived and walked away. I went to work the next day. I was super lucky. So I kind of was looking at that going, well, that's like God trying to get my attention. Literally shook me up, metaphorically, and physically shook the shit out of me and be like, so I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm paying attention now. And now my friend, who was in corporate IT, which is what I was doing, just basically, I was on track to do that. I was working for the biggest of the big companies in Australia. The biggest, the most corporate you can think of, the biggest multinational conglomerates, they're all multinational at that point, but I was, getting paid double 6 figures, contracting, but you have no life. It's high stress. You're always, they say you're not on call, but you're effectively on call. They just contact you whenever they want. They don't give a shit about you. They just want a result. They just want the job done, and they don't care how many hours it takes you. They just want the job done, and as soon as the job's done, there's something else they want, and it's more, more, more. They always want more. The culture's toxic. It's anti-male. There's all this DEI stuff that was coming in, and I started seeing the last part of that. I could see, I was like, I don't want to be here anymore. After what happened to my dad, I could see that coming in. I was getting more stressed. I was not happy. I didn't need the money anymore. I paid my house off by that point. I didn't need the money. I was like, why am I doing this? And at the same time, I had a bit of a spiritual awakening, decided to really confront my S3X addiction, all the corn stuff, which I tried to deal with before, but I never really faced it head on. I threw a lot of things. Around 2020, this is when all this started happening. So got out of IT, changed my job. But now I kind of feel like I've been doubting things. I've been like, did I make the right call getting out of IT and trying this new thing? But now, like more recently, especially as I've been praying and I've been on semen retention again, it's like the universe is saying, dude, you did the right thing by getting out of IT, because now he was essentially my best friend at uni. He's gone. That could have been me. I could have been gone in the car accident. If I'd been as tired as I used to be driving home from my IT job on my motorbike, I rode a motorbike too, which I don't ride. If that had been me tired riding home on my motorbike, dude, I would have been done. So this is kind of really fucking with my head. Like this is a big shake up, wake up call for me. And it's like, I've never really lost anyone in my life. This is the first person who was like my best mate who died, and leaving behind a wife. His wife's lovely. I've met her. 2 young kids, who I've had dinner with, and just gone, man. And, I'm not going to speak for the guy, but he seemed to put a lot of pressure on himself. And part of that is the pressure society puts on men to be the earner, the provider. And he was. But now I'm convinced that he lost his life because, the guy had a heart attack. And that's the stress he was under at those C-level CIO corporate jobs is insane. And I just know that contributed to it. And like, guys, it's not worth it, man. If you're going to work in a job that is going to cost you your health, like take 10 years, 20 years off your life or kill you. He's my age. This dude's like my age. I think he was a year older than me, but my age. And this guy's got a young family and he's gone. And for what, man? For what? Like, so you can, I'm not saying don't support your family, but like he probably was on, I don't know. It's probably in the ballpark of triple 6 figures, quadruple 6 figures, maybe even $500,000. I don't know what he was on, but he was on a lot. But it's not worth it, man. It's not worth it if it kills you. What's the point of earning this money if you can't live long enough or have enough hours in the day to enjoy it? Because that was the other part. He was working such long hours and like, we sort of drifted apart since we went our own, like I went on my path, he kept doing the IT thing and I didn't see a lot of him. He was busy anyway and I didn't check in with him as much as I should. And I kind of feel guilty about that as well. Like I didn't make the effort. I could have been there more for him. I was probably never going to talk him out of like, getting off that track. Because once you're on it, and I was on it, it's hard to get off because they throw money at you, dude. There's always another project. If you're halfway decent, they'll always throw money at you. They'll throw opportunities at you. But as the money goes up, the stress goes up, your health suffers. And they don't give a fuck, son. These companies do not give a fuck about you. They will chew you up, spit you out. They don't give a fuck if you wrap your car around a tree. They don't give a fuck if you have cancer. If you leave your wife and family behind you, there's always another dude who they'll pressure to replace you, and some guy will step up and fill your space, and it's like you were never there. And like, that's how I feel. Like, my friend's gone, man. My friend's just fucking gone. So I'm still processing that. Like, I know this isn't a semen retention video, But like, this is what's going on, man. It's got me a bit fucked up, but it's got me a lot fucked up. And I just think that, you know, all those cliches you hear, fucking life's short. It's true, dude. And life is short and it's flimsy. And I always knew that, but there's a difference between knowing and experiencing something. Like there's a difference between, oh yeah, I can see that through someone else, but now that this is the first person I've lost who was close to me. Like, he was my best mate in uni. Even though we drifted apart a little bit later, like, he was my best mate. And he's a good person. He was a stand-up guy. And he's gone. And, you know, I just get a message, yeah, your friend's not there anymore. And it's fucked, dude. So, yeah, this is just what's on my heart. It hadn't even hit me yesterday, dude. I was still processing it, I'm still processing it. But like, you know, the fucked up thing is, I'm not even gonna be able to make his funeral because I've already planned this overseas trip. So I'm gonna be in Bali. His funeral's on the Monday. I don't get back till the Tuesday. I'm locked in for this trip. I paid for the flights. I paid for the course, the hotels. It's all there, and it's like, I do want to be there, but me being there is not going to bring him back. So I don't know if there's a point to this, but like, if you're a dude and you're stuck on this corporate path and it's slowly killing you inside, it's eating at your soul. You're not happy. You're not healthy. You don't have time to go to the gym. You can't look after yourself first. This shit's going to kill you. Slowly, but surely it's going to kill you, and you need to get out. Like, these soulless corporations do not give a fuck about you. I cannot stress this enough. I've seen it happen to my dad. There were dudes in my dad's team. One dude in my dad's team wrapped his car around a tree driving home from work, leaves behind wife and 3 kids. Gone. And it's male disposability. If you don't know what that is, look into it. It's a thing. It's real. Our culture thrives on male disposability, that there's always another man ready to take your place. If you get killed or whatever happens to you, nobody gives a fuck, son. There's just going to be some other dude who could step up and instantly replace you, and you're forgotten. So make your life mean something. Don't fucking give your life to these soulless corporations, because they don't give a fuck. If you're going to give your life to your family. Give your life towards something meaningful, but don't give it to these corporations, man. That's all I can say. And I'm taking this as a sign I'm on the right track, that I've turned my back on that life. Fuck that shit, man. Life's too short. It's a cliche, but fucking hell, I feel that at the moment, and I know the truth of that really hits hard at the moment. So look, I'm going to leave it there. This video is probably getting too long, but dudes, if you're watching this, life's fucking short. You got to wring the last drop out of this life, and don't live life for anybody else. Live it for yourself. Live for you. Don't live to fucking appease anybody else. Don't live someone else's life story they think you should live. Don't become a slave to a corporation that does not give a fuck about you. If you die, they don't give a fuck. I cannot stress that enough. I've seen it. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. Sorry, this got a bit dark, but like, sometimes life's dark. So sorry, but not sorry. This is just how I feel, man. Yeah, I lost a friend, and my dad's got cancer, and these corporations don't give a fuck. I'm gonna leave it there. So I'll try and do another update tomorrow. So yeah, I'll see you on the next video.